Hello and welcome to your Pick an Angel Set of Wings reading. This reading is based on what is your life purpose or what is part of your life purpose. Allow yourself to relax and connect to an angel wing that most resonates with you.
Hello everyone and welcome to your Pick a Card video. So this is the first pile of the cards that we are looking into today for what is your life purpose. I'm sorry if the table may rock a little bit. It's really hard trying to get the surroundings set up to do these videos, and I have to do them in different ways each time. So group one, just know that this is a collective recording, so some of it may resonate with you and there's some things that may not resonate with you. Just take what you can take from it and know that there is an inner message in there for you somewhere. You might also be drawn to another pile, and if that is the case, please do also choose another pile. So today we're going to be looking into what is your life purpose, or what is part of your life purpose. Now, when we're talking life purposes, we can believe that we have just one life purpose that we have to adopt, and we kind of need to find that one life purpose. But the truth of the matter is we're here for more than one reason. And what may be part of your life purpose at one point isn't part of your life purpose as your life goes on. So let's connect to the cards and see what they're going to say. I'm sorry if you hear me drinking, but it's really important that I keep hydrated during this. So, part of your life purpose within this life is not actually focusing externally. Part of your life purpose is to heal from pain and trauma that you have been through, and to recognize how that pain and trauma has affected your life. So when I'm looking at this card, I feel like there's lots of things, or actually there may be some quite significant things that you have gone through within, your early childhood that has led you to not tune into your sensitivities. So you may be sensitive in how you connect with people, how you feel drained. You feel as if, sometimes you get very overwhelmed and you don't understand why. And there may be times where you go and isolate yourself, and there's times that you try and push yourself to connect with people. But you're being asked to, within this lifetime, part of your purpose is kind of waking up and smelling the flowers. And what metaphor that means is waking up and recognizing that we are all different beings, and some of us are way more sensitive than others. And what we're here to do is to connect to our life source, not judge ourselves against other people and how much they do or what they're achieving, but recognize that we're here as part of your life purpose is to connect with healing your heart chakra. But not just healing your heart chakra, working on your throat chakra, working on connecting to yourself. I feel that maybe you like to focus externally on having your home nice, on the light's kind of in the way there, so it's kind of shining on it, making your home nice and almost keeping your surroundings, trying to make your external life feel as if they can make you feel good. But the problem is when we focus on our external life, we are missing the beauty of connecting to ourselves. And the part of the beauty of connecting to yourself is, I feel your heart chakra is closed. I feel like this doesn't, again, have to be from parents or childhood. It can be from a past relationship, but there is something that has shut your heart chakra down. And part of your life purpose is learning to reconnect to that heart chakra, allowing yourself to reconnect to those feelings, to those emotions that you have buried. And actually, I feel like creating goals so that you are enabling yourself to show up into your personal relationships differently. There is lots of inner wisdom here for you, and when you are given this wisdom, almost like you may be somebody who sees so many sides of people and you feel sorry for them, and then you are unable to put in boundaries because you feel sorry for them, but then you get angry and you don't say anything and you may pull away. You're able to see more than one side of things. And this kind of leaves you confused because, for one, you're so used to putting others first. For two, you're used to seeing more than one side of everything. So when something occurs, you may go into slipping into justifying everything. And what this is asking you is to allow yourself to connect to your heart chakra. So for one, you're connecting to your healing energy source, because making sure that you are in a space where you're being treated correctly, where you're, you know, we can see two sides of a situation but still know when a situation is unhealthy for us. You are a sensitive being, and I want to say that you are protected, okay? You are a spiritual sensitive being, and actually I feel that you may be here for work that you may not even realise this is in the helping profession, you know, and whatever that is defined by. It doesn't have to necessarily be spiritual work, but you may be a Reiki healer, you may be a medium, you may be a spiritual teacher in the making. In some way you carry lots of past generational spiritual wisdom. So it's not just this lifetime that you're carrying stuff from, because you could have an idyllic childhood and not have nothing major happen, but still be struggling with sensitivity, struggling with telling people how you feel. Because as a sensitive being, you are struggling to, because you are knowing that you are here for a healing ability, that you are here to help others, you naturally put other people's needs before your own. But actually, I do feel that the things that have occurred in your life, and being truthful to yourself and owning your mind, body and soul will help you to understand where this is to lead you, whether being a counsellor or a therapist or a talk therapist, or, you know, being a carer, whatever it is, you are here in a helping way, because there's part of your life story that is here to help others. So let's see what is part of your life purpose. So what is part of one's life purpose? I feel part of this life purpose is allowing yourself to come out of your masculine energy. So part of your life purpose, so the fact that your heart chakra is closed and the masculine energy has stepped in, is telling me that you're very methodical, so you're very logical. You're somebody that likes to make plans and goals. I'm going to aim for those goals. I'm going to do this, this, this. You know, 1 + 1 = 2, 2 + 2 = 4. And you are so used to being in your headspace that when things are not working out, yet you're planning and you're prepping and you're doing all of what you believe is right, because you're coming from a headspace. You're coming from a space of, well, I have read this or I've seen this and I know that to get there I have to do X, Y and Z. But as a spiritual person, you are here to recognise that you need to come back into your body, come back into your emotions, knowing that our mind will not get us where we want to be, because our mind only thinks logically. Our heart and our higher self connects to a greater source, because you are just a mere blip in the greatest source out there. And while we have some control over some things, we don't have control over everything. And by you, there is a thing within you, or there is something within you that is afraid of failing. So you're trying to make as many calculated decisions as you can in a methodical way. And this may be like, I'll stay in this job because at least I know I'm going to get money each month and it's going to, you know, lead me to feel secure. Well, you may be secure money-wise, but you're feeling down, you're feeling like you're lacking self-worth, or maybe you're not achieving things. You could be creating your own business and methodically trying to work through that this is going to lead you here, but yet things are still not working. It could even be in your general life. Maybe it's nothing, you know, it doesn't have to be anything to do with that. You could be thinking, if I love my partner unconditionally and accept things, then our relationship will be fulfilling. Or if I do everything I need to do to give my children the best possible life, and they'll grow up to be great human beings. But there is only one part of, sorry about the noise in the background, I am in my office. There is only one part of all of this that you're looking at, and you're being asked to come out of your masculine energy, research how to step into your feminine energy. Stepping into your feminine energy can feel a bit destructive at first, because it feels as if you're challenging a set of beliefs that to get anywhere in your life, you have to think your way there. So to be happy, I've got to, you know, we sit in our head and we go, well, I must make more time with my friends, that's got my headspace. Or I must do this or that. Happiness is a feeling. Happiness, you know, when we're so stubborn, and I feel there's some stubbornness with you, when we are stubborn and we're caught in a headstrong way of this is how life is meant to be, we get lost. So group one, I'm feeling that, you know, healing your heart, and even if it's not from this lifetime, if there's, you know, but I would be very surprised if there wasn't something also from this lifetime that you're needing to heal. But part of your purpose is coming into your feminine energy. There may have been some dominant male energies within your family, and they don't, no, so not male energy, but masculine energies. Maybe you had a dominant mother in some aspects, you know, even an emotionally shut down mum's dominant because they're coming not from the heart space. The nurturing aspects of family comes from feminine energy. And if our family growing up, which they're not likely to have been, most of them aren't tapped into that feminine energy. So we come from kind of masculated, you know, to get where we want to be in life, we have to work hard. To have anything in life, we have to work hard. We have to work so many hours. We have to, and we keep trying to get our needs met that way. So allowing yourself to come into your feminine energy and start to go with free flow of life. And when we go with free flow of life, we start to become more acceptance of how life is. We start to feel that, you know, people go, that's easier said than done. Well, you're only finding it easy to commit to the way of thinking that you're in now is because it's what you're used to. Any kind of change feels a little bit difficult in the beginning, but isn't it sometimes a great growth that comes from difficulty? Again, you can't keep doing the same things and wanting something different. And you have moved forward so much, I can see that. You are starting to nurture yourself already in a way. You're starting to maybe have decorated your home or got a newer car or, you know, lost a little bit of weight or done something so that you feel better in yourself. So you might feel more aligned with how you look. Maybe you're being able to buy yourself some clothes or you're feeling a bit more in peace in that way. So that's amazing. But it's just this understanding of energy you're being called in to understand that this is part of your purpose. You are somebody that tries to be strong for everyone else. You try to, you know, think your way out of things. There's been 3 situations in your life. This could be one loss, it could be emotional transformation. There's 3 big situations that have occurred in your life that you have found the strength to get through. But you have come this far now, and this next stage is saying, okay, so all of the work that you've done is absolutely amazing, but the next part is to come into your body and out of your mind. We do that by meditation. We do that by slowing down. You know, we can get more done in the day by doing less because we are flapping about, running around trying to get everything done. When we start to slow down and start to allow the energies to flow with us, we start to hit a little bit less traffic, or we start to actually go, right, I can't get that done today, that's okay. We start to feel less stressed. So I really want to say to you, group 1, allow yourself to recognize that maybe there's some stubbornness in the fact that, yes, you might work on some spiritual practices, and yes, you may be understanding of changing things within your life and change so much, but you have to start understanding about feminine energy, because masculine energy is ruling you, the energy of thought, the energy of mindset. You know, and you may be hyper-focused on your mindset, trying to think better thoughts. That comes when you start to sit in your feminine. Sitting in your feminine and recognizing when that needs to come in. Being, the feeling. To do research after this, how to step into the feminine, because you're going through a period right now, and there's a lot of red I see here. So you're going through a period right now where you may be feeling a little bit of a casualty towards life. You're feeling like, I don't know where I'm going next. I don't know what the meaning of this all is. I'm sick of doing the same things or changing the things that I'm doing, hoping that I'm going to get a different outcome. You're still coming from a space of doing. You can change the doing, you can change how you think of that doing. You can read more books, plan more things, but until you start to stop more, take time out in the evening, or have a day off in the week instead of the weekend, however you need to integrate that, listen to some YouTube lessons on invoking the feminine energy within you, because you'll start to see a change. Because I do feel that you're meeting resistance within your life because you just create goals and fire for them, and you're a sensitive being. So what happens is, when you don't see what you want to occur from that, it feels as if you're failing. You're not failing. I have to say you're not failing, but you are being called to, heal some of that masculine side of you that feels like you have to have all the answers. Connect to your intuition. Oh my God, wow. Held within Kali's protection, your heart radiates peace, certainty and beauty. Her grace melts frustration into inspiration, fatigue into replenishment and overactivity. Fatigue into replenishment and overactivity into effortless attraction. Camilla is the golden pathway of divine protection and peaceful contentment. She empowers your heart to receive with the same generosity, openness and grace that you express when you give. You are swiftly approaching sacred fruition. Wow. So this is it. This is saying that you've been on a path of changing, recognizing, growing, but you're almost in a path of resistance now. So you've done what you've needed to do to get to here, and that's amazing. You've done nothing wrong. But now the next level, the next step up is let's step into the feminine. Let's start healing and connecting the mind, body and soul. So that's coming away from being in your mind, being in your thoughts, stilling them by, when we do mindful meditation, we get to connect to calming our thoughts down. Your thoughts are so busy being rushed, and people go, I haven't got time, I'm so busy. But what you commit to is what grows. And if you commit to being busy and being in your mindset, you're going to continue to feel stuck. But if you continue to this next phase and you allow yourself to open your heart chakra, to start feeling and healing from some of the pain. So do some YouTubes on healing the heart chakra meditations, and also invoking the feminine energy. This will allow you to start leading your life through a source of intuition. When we intuitively lead our life, it's like this. You can be in a car, put your sat nav on, and you know exactly where you're going. So you get there and you do that and you do that every time. But along the way, you're missing the beauty of any of the lessons that you might need to learn, or any of the beauty of what's occurring. You're not going down a road that could have showed you that the circus is in town. When you are going and following your intuition from stepping into femininity, you are turning that sat nav off and you're having faith that actually I need to get there, but I'm going to allow my intuition to guide me. And we think, well, I don't exactly know where I'm going. You can research and you can find out where you're going, but then you can trust yourself and you can say, I'm going to make my plan this way. I'm going to follow my intuition. Because your intuition will be like a kind friend that's saying, turn left, turn right. And again, this doesn't mean that you don't need sat-nav, that you don't need your mind. You need that foundation. You can have sat-nav to have a rough idea, but you can also go, right, take me the scenic route, take me a bit of a longer route, take me the route that's gonna, change the route up. We don't need to be so dictatorial following that sat-nav of life, feeling like this has to be our route and this is how we have to go. So group one, I hope that you have been able to relate to some of what you have been given. If you do have any questions, then do just pop them underneath this post. I will pop in here some heart chakra meditations and some connecting to your femininity meditations. So I'll connect 2 meditations to this that you can go and link into YouTube. Hey group 2, and welcome to your reading. So in this reading, I'm going to be looking at what is part of your life purpose. That we all have more than one part to our life purpose. Life purpose is, you know, we have different aspects and different facets to our life purpose. And when we start to navigate our way through some of our life purposes, we get to uncover parts of ourselves and grow. And that's ultimately what this journey within our life is for. So please know this is a collective reading, and there may be some information that you can't relate to, but there will be a message within this information that hopefully can spark something within you, so you can go, right, I'm going to go further along with this. Okay, so group 2, straight away you're on the right path. Keep doing what you're doing because it's working. There is obviously some form of commitment to your self-growth within this path that is really enabling you. And that self-growth doesn't have to be one where you're constantly reading. It might be, or one where you're constantly YouTubing or whatever. But whatever it is, you are committing to understanding yourself, to making changes. And absolutely want to say to you that you're already quite far into your understanding your life purpose. You are on the path of understanding your life purpose, and I feel like I need to say to you again, your life purpose isn't one thing, because this will help you realize and go with flow a little bit more when you think that you need to have the answers of where you're going or what you're here to achieve. So you are being asked to embrace enlightenment, and what I feel that is connecting to the denser side of yourself, connecting to the shadow side of yourself with love. So when we're embracing enlightenment, we can focus a lot on raising our vibration, on healing and growing. But there's a facet to it, there's a part of it called shadow work, which means connecting to the parts of ourselves we don't like. So we are taught to repress parts of ourselves, parts that we may feel loud, opinionated, parts that we feel are too much or too little. We can play up our personality to be something more so that we feel like we fit in. We can hide uncouth ways because we're told that they are uncouth. But what happens is we start to deny a part of ourselves, so when we get angry we feel bad and shame because we're getting angry. Instead of recognising that as humans we're allowed to get angry, we can feel anger. It's just, how do we allow that anger to affect us? Do we feel it in a way where we're shouting at people, or do we feel it in a way where we're processing why we're angry? Okay, I'm angry because this behaviour has been something that I've had throughout my life, so how can I feel that anger? Okay, I'm going to feel it, and then I'm going to either speak about how I feel, or I'm going to face it in a different way. Or it could be sadness. You know, when we're on a path of enlightenment, we commit to the parts of ourselves, but when we get sad, we can possibly get scared that we're going back in on ourselves, that we're going back into depression. But when we recognise that actually these parts are needed, we can have compassion and love. So you're being asked to kind of look at what some of your triggers are. And how we can do this is by looking at the people around us that annoy us the most. So what is the behaviour within other people that really wind us up? Do you hate people who aren't on time? And that could be because you may be feeling inside that your time isn't precious, that people take advantage of your time. And when we connect to why we feel a certain way, say, I'm so angry that people are always late, people do this, people do that with time. Actually, when I sit and reflect that, maybe I feel like I'm wasting time. Maybe I feel like I'm giving too much time to meaningless situations. So therefore, I might be projecting a little bit that. And what happens is people who aren't on time and people, so you need to start valuing your time more by holding people accountable to your time, not giving time. You know, if you're committed to needing to spend time alone, don't answer your phone that day unless it's a pure emergency. Don't get pulled into going to see somebody because they need help. Don't get pulled into social media to see what everyone else is doing. Commit to that time of spending with yourself, because you will feel less angry about losing time. If we spend time the way we spend, if we spend money the way we spent our time, we'd be a little bit mindful. Is it spent time? We're very mindful of the money we spend, and if we spent time the same way, we would be a bit more mindful. one of your purposes is wanting to be shown to you, but I truly believe it's not ready to be shown to you yet. So there is something that's not being shown to you yet, but it will be shown to you in time. And I actually feel that the career possibilities are of bringing healing. So this means that you may become a Reiki healer, you may become something where you are helping other people with this work, counselor, therapist, but this hasn't yet shown itself. Maybe it's slightly opening up to you, but there is something spiritual. Now, there's lots of different jobs that we don't think are spiritual, but are very spiritual. And I actually do feel that this could be a lot to do with talking. So this could be counselling. This could be readings. Maybe you're wanting to give readings. Whatever it does, it involves talking. It involves owning the throat chakra. It involves leading people. So yeah, it could definitely be counselling. It's some form of healing modality that allows people to go deeper, maybe understanding themselves deeper, such as Reiki or shamanic work. Whatever it is, you're going to be taking people or enabling people to, and you know, you might think, well, I'm not doing that right now. Maybe that's something you're being need to explore. Am I doing a job that doesn't fulfill me? Because there is a part of your life purpose which is leading people to understand and commit to part of their story so that they can heal, okay? And this is coming from, you know, I don't know. I think maybe you will know that, but it's going to help other people. Excuse the noise in the background. I'm so sorry. I'm in my office, which can be quite noisy because there's other offices here. But I do feel like it's going to, I don't know, you know, whether you're going to, there's like meditation music and music here. So this might not connect to everyone. So this might be a very specific little message just for some people. But there is a part of this group who is watching this that are going to go do regression work, spiritual healing through music, grounding techniques, meditation. There's going to be some form of spiritual work that you're going to do. There might be some other people that are going to do counselling or helping people through their stuff. But if you haven't explored that, do explore that, because you are a very intuitive person. You are a highly spiritual person. I think you've had quite a few spiritual lives prior, because there's lots of purple here. Like you're more grounded than you believe, and I think you're in a very grounded state now. There is, you know, you're already very committed to your path, which is really beautiful. And there is a part of you that's an elder, whether you know this or not. There's wisdom within you, wisdom that you're not quite sure of how you've got it. You may say things to people and think, God, I don't know where that come from. But you need, I feel, to be able to commit to the fact that this work is there for you. I do really want to say it's time to purify your surroundings. So it's time for you to declutter your home or allow yourself to create a space that is just for you, a space that is feeling more comfortable and is feeling serenic in its sense. So that's a card. Oh, where's that card gone? Oh, wow. So this card is for you. There's two cards here for you. So there is not always a need to try to grapple and conquer. Sometimes the need is simply to let go. Just because another has created a certain reality for themselves and is attempting to draw you in, it does not mean that you must participate. You have the divinely granted gift of choosing where to invest your energy. Be kind to yourself. When hope is lost and a way forward cannot be sensed, Kali's love will find a way. If the path does not yet exist, well, then it shall be created. You can create that. If you cannot see or feel how you can move forward from wherever you are to where you want to be, Kali's wisdom and grace will manifest at the perfect time to provide what is needed. So allowing yourself to use maybe this reading to reflect on, and we think, oh, I don't want to go to college later, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. But actually, so much amazing things can come from learning in our adult life, from taking that path. And it's about committing to that path like you've committed to the path you're on. And it doesn't mean learning everything overnight. So what is part of pile 2's purpose? Okay. And I do feel though that part of your purpose will be understanding. So maybe you're a sensitive person and you struggle sometimes helping people because you immerse yourself so much. Whatever career path that you do either change to or continue in, or however you continue to be in this, divinely space that you are in. It's about recognizing you can't help everybody. Having boundaries to know that you're not giving up on somebody if you know that they are not going to be able to commit to themselves in a way that you've committed. We can't save everybody, and sometimes we have the thoughts of, I need to accept less than I'm accepting. I need to keep accepting what I'm accepting because they've been through stuff that you don't know how hard they've had it. But actually, this is stemming from a need for you to feel a good person. You can't always unconditionally be there for other people. You have to sometimes allow other people to fight their own demons or to have battles. And even if you do spiritual work or whatever you do, it will be important that you protect yourself, that you understand that you can be open and loving while still having boundaries, while still not allowing everyone to have access to your energy, while saying, I can be there for you, but if you're not going to be there for yourself, I have to take a step back. And this is one thing that I have had to learn in this work, because lots of spiritual healers give, and just become depleted and drained. And one thing that I have really had to learn in this work is that I can give, but I also have to know when to stop. I also know that I can't save somebody, that I can only give so much of myself, and if that triggers them, that leads them to have to deal with some things within their own life, I can only, I'm going to give you an example. A person was on my group and I couldn't call them because I was poorly, and I'd arranged a phone call, and they were going through some stuff and they wanted to speak to me because they were on my group, and I couldn't take this phone call, so I said to them politely, I'm going to have to cancel this phone call and I'm going to have to reschedule next week. Well, they left the group and they never got back to me again. Now that person sadly felt rejected, and once upon a time I would have internalized that so much. I would have felt like I should have done more. I should have called them when I was poorly. I let them down. But actually I've learned to realize that while I understand and feel so sad that that person must have felt rejected, my need was to look after myself at that point. I was poorly. I was open with the person, and I let them know that I would be there for them when I was feeling better. So I was able to let it go and not take it personally that person left, because sometimes we can internalize things so much that we can take the weight of things on. And I'm giving you that example because in our life, this can happen with our friends, with our family, and because our divine healer in us, especially in you, because you're a very divine spiritual being, you will sometimes, if not more often than not, put the needs of somebody else before your own, because that's what you've been conditioned with within yourself, maybe. So nurturing yourself, to nurture yourself leads you to be able to nurture another. But also part of your life purpose is knowing that you are the one holding yourself back. You're holding yourself back. You may think, well, how can I make a business of spiritual work? How can I do this? Yes, there's going to be reservations. There's going to be worries about changing career or changing things. But if we keep looking at things as a lack, if we keep looking at things of what is holding us back, what may go wrong, we will never step out into our true potential. So part of your life purpose, actually, I think, is being called to be stepping into a spiritual purpose, having strength to step into a spiritual purpose. And this does not have to be in a spiritual job, because you can find your spiritual purpose in any job. You can be a hairdresser, but find that spiritual purpose, knowing that you want to truly commit to making that person's hair beautiful, to understanding your craft. Because hairdressing to some people is just cutting hair. To other people, the people that truly get to become amazing at their hairdressing job, when they realise that hair is what uplifts somebody, hair is what makes somebody feel good, hair is somebody's identity, hair is, if it's cut wrong, it can devastate someone. And it's not just hair, it's a lot more than that. So when we lean into whatever job we're in and realise, actually, I can have an impact in this way, when I commit to understanding that I am here to have an impact. Even if that's social media, sometimes social media, we could set up groups and things, and people go, well, I'm just going to set up this script, but when we commit and go, I'm here to help people heal and deliver parts of my story to them. You know, so right now, committing to the next stage of your journey and facilitating the fact that new thoughts and new growth is occurring. Okay, lots of healing has happened. It's already happened. Loads of healing, lots of beautiful healing, and I want you to be so proud of how far you've come. You are owning yourself in such a beautiful way. But the next step now is to focus on, okay, let it come in so that I can nurture my spiritual work in a different way. I can nurture myself in job. Who do I want to be? Because midlife crises can happen when we've disconnected ourselves for so long, and we start to realise what a beautiful ending card, and we start to realise there's more to life, there's more to life, you know, and that's doing things we enjoy, being a person we would want to be around, not always being positive, and realising that those attributes that we have labelled negative, they are actually so important to us. Sometimes we think, I'm too loud, so we hide that loudness and we try to be quieter, but actually it's that loudness that can carry energy, that can lead people to truly connect to us. And it's about balance. The loudness is needed at times, but if it's too dominating, it's what's going to hold you back. So it's about having balance and understanding. Sit down and reflect. What qualities of myself do I not think I like? Reflect on why you don't like them and try to integrate them in your life, because part of those qualities can really help you move forward. I don't like the fact that I have a need to be driven or have some form of perfection. But actually, that's good in a certain way, because that can give you the sense of drive to go, okay, I'm going to use part of that energy, but I'm not going to be defined by it. So I'm hoping that you can take this reading. If you do have any questions, then please do ask. Know that obviously you might not be able to take it all, but whatever you can take from that, know that it has a message for you. Ta-ra! Group 3, and welcome to your reading. So I'm going to be looking at today what is part of your life purpose. So I want to tell you, we don't all have one definitive life purpose. There's many aspects and facets of our life purpose, many things that we may slip in and have to need to understand and change and work with and grow with. And you know, life purpose isn't always about work. Life purpose is about what we're here to heal and understand. So I'm going to be looking at that. There might be some things that you might not be able to take, but do focus on things that you can take. Sorry if you hear noise in the background. I am at my office and it isn't always the most quietest place. So I just go with the flow and work with it and deal with what I can. Okay, so part of your life purpose is connecting to your story, the story of your life. The divine energy is bringing here that you have a story within you that is really empowering. There's things that you have been through and things that you have experienced, and they say everyone has a book with them in them, but there's things that you've been through and experienced that are able to really help another. So one person's story is another person's survival guide. And I actually feel like there is a collective DNA story here. There's a story that's ancestrally run about things that people have been through. And I actually want to say to you, and you may not fully know this, but there may be an ancestral story that has passed down through mum to you, maybe even nan or gran, and actually you're the one that's recognised it, you're the one that's changed it, you're the one that's seen things as they are. And you're being asked to connect to that, to see how you have broke cycles and actually continue to break cycles in ancestral ways that have been passed down. Because you may be the black sheep, you are the change maker. I feel that you are the one that needs to recognise to a certain extent you don't have the same thoughts, feelings and values as your family. And this is okay. This doesn't mean that you can't love them or be there for them or respect them or not talk to them, but what this does mean is that You are the one that has been born into the change maker, and the change maker is often the black sheep. You see ancestral patterns, you see behaviours that are unhealthy, and this could be behaviours that our parents have shown, you know, emotionally unavailable, shouty, or, you know, suffering deep depression and not being able to face it. Whatever it is, it doesn't have to be limited to that. But you have been, part of your purpose here is to break ancestral wounds, okay? And part of that is your story. Part of that is understanding that your story has led you to be able to, and there may be some of you that's walked away from some family members and thinking, did I need to do that? Or I feel sad, but knowing that this is something you did need to do. Some of you haven't walked away, and that's okay, but you still feel a little different. You feel like you don't quite fit in, or you feel like, I just don't fit in. And that comes from knowing that internally you are the change maker. And in a way, you are an ancestral lineage. Can't get that word out, I'm so sorry. That you are able to possibly love and have relationships with people that have been in pain and still break these, wounds. You are somebody that is here to connect people. So you may tolerate things of people, and people go, well, how can you see the good in them, or how can you understand things? You are somebody here that has got a gift of seeing more than one side of things, and actually this is a powerful thing for you. You are here to be able to, I think, and if this hasn't happened, or if there's something that doesn't happen, you're probably here to understand that some of the pain of family members and people and what they've been through, and also how you've changed your life. When we understand why people's behaviours were the way they were, quite often we can sit there and we can judge people who take drugs. We can judge people who make mistakes. We can judge people who have abortions. But when we commit to understanding the action and not the behaviour, not the person, we can understand that many situations come from fear, come from ingrained pain, come from loss. And that leads us to actually be able to separate some behaviours so that we don't internalise behaviours, or we don't hold the person. We need to hold people accountable for their behaviours, but with a bit of understanding, sometimes it can be deepen bonds. But it also, even if you've not got a bond with that person, it can let you understand why it's so important for you to work on healing some of these behaviours. Because if you carry them on, and how detrimental they can be. And I don't want you to feel any shame and guilt, even if you have carried some things on to a certain extent, because we all do. We all carry on behaviours that have been taught to us and that have been ingrained in us from society, from parents, from friends. We do. But when we recognise that, we can see and change that behaviour. So Divine Spirit, Angels, Liza. What Kali card do we have for group 3? No. And this can really help us. Oh my God, that was all I see. This can really help us heal, because we can sometimes let go of the hatred and pain that we feel when we recognise that the person and the behaviour are two different things. While we can still hold the person accountable for the behaviour, we can still have some love and compassion for them as a person. Although you may be in circumstances that you would prefer not to be in at this time, you are actually in a position of unrealised spiritual power. You will gain benefit from what is transpiring when the relevant learning and personal growth have been acknowledged and integrated. These circumstances will give way to a more favourable situation. Wow, my eyes have just started burning. What this means is your eyes are starting to be opened. So this may have only just started happening in your life, where you're seeing things in a different way, and you may be feeling a bit angry, and you may be feeling a bit stuck. And my eyes are stinging, which symbolises to me that you may be opening your eyes to things that are a little bit painful. And this is okay. This is okay to go through this emotional realisation. But again, recognising that the behaviour and the person are two different things. When we understand where the behaviour comes from, we can have a bit more compassion. There are some behaviours we just cannot excuse, but we can still have compassion for them. There's some behaviours that we can't let continue in our life, but we can still have compassion and understanding. And that leads us to not feel so tied and connected to the pain of how that person has impacted us. When we go through such painful things, we, without meaning to, hold on to hate, anger and sadness, because we haven't processed the feelings of what has occurred. We internalise it. We take it on as if we've done something wrong or it's our fault. And the general gist of the likelihood of it all is, whatever the person behaves like is always a reflection of how they are feeling and the things they've been through, including you. And they are coming from a pained place. And again, you don't have to accept this, but we can have an easier time being around people when we have compassion for some of their behaviours. We can tune out with them. We don't have to internalise them, because we don't have the ability to walk away from everyone. And also that you don't want to walk away from everyone. So let's see what else is being given for group 3. Okay, lots of cards here. I feel that you may be here, and in a way to bring light to bonds and family dysfunction, or to help be aware and not take on the behaviours and actions that other people have. And how this works is, sometimes we can be the sibling that sees things as they are, so we can have a true relationship with parents, accepting that, you know, it's not personal, understanding where it's come from, but also not feeding into those behaviours, so we become realistic and we start to live in a bit more of a less denial state, and we start to realise that actually my parent relies on me emotionally, or my friends rely on me for this. And when we start to understand why they do it, we can start to choose what actions we become a part of. So group 3, you are here to really connect with people, heal family lineage, and to almost connect to the woundings. I feel you might even have an ability here to connect to other people's wounding, to bring their wounding forward. And this comes out maybe in the way of people telling you and disclosing things to you about their life that you think, God, I've only just met this person, they've opened up to me. And that's because you have that kind of ability to make people feel safe. But make sure you give that to yourself too. I also feel that, actually, I don't know if I feel there's any more I need to give in this, and I know it feels a bit of a shorter reading than some of the others, but I just feel that it's very to the point, and very much is that you have the ability here to see more than one side to a situation. So yes, understand that you might give people too many chances, but actually in a loving way, you are able to allow, and you may not have done this yet, so allow yourself to be on this journey. Wow, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God, I've got to show you them. I was starting to show you them, but I turned it upside down and all these cards just started coming out feeling like they were connecting for you. On a transition now of not internalizing other people's behaviors, not taking them on purposely, accepting the relationships that haven't worked out, the friendships that haven't worked out, realizing that, yes, okay, this hasn't gone the way I wanted to, but you are able to see where that pain comes from. But don't allow yourself to internalize all the pain of other people and give too many people chances. It's good to see both sides of a coin, but it's important to also use your own discernment, your own ability to see, okay, I can detach the behavior from the person, which means I can still love that person and be around that person, but I will not give them access to my energy and allow that behavior to impact me. So I actually feel, group 3, that's all I'm being given for you. It is a little bit shorter than the other readings, but I feel that right now that's the main thing that you're needing to focus on. And actually bringing anything else in is going to take yourself away from that focus. But spending this time to connect to yourself emotionally, to connect to healing your heart, healing your relationships. One of your main life purposes is healing relationship with yourself and then learning healthier ways to nurture yourself within friendships, love relationships, and around family. So I hope that's something you can take, group 3. If you have any questions, please just let me know, and I will look forward to you on the next read.